is not to be working with us as Kenyans now. We're seeing more and more Kenyans coming back into the metropolitan areas. Considering that we are still fighting this disease, this behavior, as I said, is dangerous and can very easily reverse the gains that we have achieved. And I want to caution the management of facilities such as the supermarkets, malls, and others that are not adhering to the measures that we put in place in terms of distancing and the number of people who can enter such facilities at any one time. These facilities face the risk of closure if they fail to abide by the guidelines of the government. Yesterday, I updated you on our coronavirus analysis and reminded you of COVID-19 containment measures targeting the estates of Eastleigh in Nairobi, Old Town in Mombasa, and other counties where movement has been restricted. We will continue to appeal to residents of these areas to observe the outlined measures to help in restoring normalcy. Please keep within those restricted areas and observe all the measures that we have put in place. We also want to thank those residents who continue to abide by these measures. We appreciate the action they are taking, and we want to encourage others to do the same so that we can be able to make gains against this pandemic and move towards the path of normalcy within the shortest time that we can. In order to accelerate the flattening of our curve, we are today introducing additional measures to contain the spread of the virus in the designated areas. These areas I am talking about are the two estates of Eastleigh and Old Town, where we had imposed the restricted movements in and out of these estates. These include prohibition of hawking, street hawking, and any form of hawking within Eastleigh and Old Town in Mombasa. Prohibition of gatherings of whatever nature, and continued closure of malls, markets, restaurants, and eateries in these two closed-off areas. Fellow Kenyans, we have observed that since we issued specific guidelines on reopening of eateries and restaurants, some of the facilities have complied to our protocols, while others have not. I am therefore warning against non-compliance and state action that shall be taken against those who fail to follow the protocols provided by the government. We have elaborated on the protocols and procedures that need to be followed in order to reopen an eatery or a restaurant. These protocols, guidelines, and procedures are available on the Ministry of Health website, and they guide on what needs to be done to get your facilities opened. We have noted that a number of establishments, while complying perhaps with physical distancing requirements, may not have fully complied with the testing requirement of those employees within those facilities. All the requirements must be complied with. The facility must be inspected by a public health officer before you can go back into business. So we are cautioning those who have hastily reopened without complying with all of the requirements And our officers will be going around to inspect these facilities. Those that do not comply will face the full action of the law.